Welcome back to another episode of Tape Time with Tom. My name is Chris, and today we're doing another round of VHS Haul, where we'll be covering all of the VHS tapes that I got in the past couple of months. Normally, we'll be wrapping up the series where we're talking about the fourth and the final box that I got in my initial collection from my local thrift store when they stopped selling VHS tapes. All those ones that I got for free that one day, which is awesome. However, today we'll be talking about some of the tapes that I received for my birthday from family and friends, as well as some local thrift stores, as well as one thing that I got offline. Let's hop to it. Under normal circumstances, most of the tapes that I'll be covering first in these VHS hauls will be those that I already have in my collection, and then we'll be moving on to those that are new additions. This time around, almost like basically 99% of everything is going to be new. So we're going to start off with the first batch, which is from, this is from my buddy Dylan, who you remember from the Arthur's Perfect Christmas commentary episode. I'll put a little thing up there, and and a link downstairs as well. Out of this whole collection today, there's only one tape that I actually have already, which is a lot of fun. So we'll go with that first. The hit movie Tequila Sunrise, brought to you by the great Robert Towne, screenwriter of Chinatown. I watched this sometime mid-quarantine. Stars Mel Gibson, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Kurt Russell, and I will say, even if the movie isn't fantastic, what I will say is that on the VHS box, they actually have their names lined up with their faces, and you get bonus points for that, because I hate it when any movie box doesn't have, like, it has all the people's names on there, or the names up top, and then the people's faces, and then they don't line up for who they are. It drives me insane. But thankfully, Tequila Sunrise does, and I would love to be able to go watch this with them for a commentary episode while we drink some Tequila Sunrises. It's a great cocktail. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and this will be a fun one to talk about, because it's got some really good points, but also has some really interesting discussions to dive into. But yeah, Tequila Sunrise. It's definitely a recommend, but it's not as great as I wish it could be, but it's a lot of fun. Next up from Dylan is going to be two movies that, and all these ones he got me. I think they were part of his family's collection, so this is kind of fun. This one's going to be called In the Name of the Father, starring Daniel Day-Lewis and Emma Thompson, a true story from the director of My Left Foot. This movie I have heard about. I don't know anything about the plot, and I'm going to leave it like that for right now. Gabriel Byrne executive produced this. That's kind of fun. This is rated R from 1993. I'm looking forward to watching this. I imagine it's going to be something really cool. But we'll find out. I don't know. And lastly from Dylan is going to be, I think, a movie that he really enjoyed from watching when he was younger. It's going to be Cromwell. And this one, I had this on my watch list on Letterboxd for a while, and I don't remember why I added it, but I'm looking forward to watching it eventually. This stars Richard Harris and Alec Guinness in Cromwell, starring more people. I guess the tape was from 1987. I don't think this came out in 87. This came out in 1970, so the tape is from 87. I'm looking forward to watching this. I think this will be a heck of a lot of fun. Next up are going to be some tapes that I got from my sister. So she got these probably from somewhere in DC, but first one, I'm just going to go ahead and take the plastic off because it really doesn't need it right now. It's going to be Jackie Chan in Dragon Fist. This movie looks awesome. From is this 1979? Yeah, I think this is 1979, 95 minutes. Yeah, it's kind of bad. This is a really light tape. It's cheaply made. It is recorded in EP mode. And just like see how little actual tape is in the box and everything. So they're able to squeeze all that in there, which is, it's fine. You got to do what you got to do. Early Jackie Chan, I can't wait to watch this. This is going to be kick-ass to watch. Lastly, for my sister is going to be this really interesting thing that I've never heard of, alternative video compilation. There we go. So this is from 95, and the design, I guess the box art design is from Smay Vision. I'm not quite sure what that is. So alternative video compilation. This has some really cool things. This is from the March-April 97 compilation, and it's got, I think these are the artists, Johnny Lang, Humble Goods, Tricky, The Cardigans. We have David Bowie, Brian Eno, and Philip Glass, which is kind of cool. I can't wait to watch that. New York Drill, Long Pigs, James. It's It's like Cher, I guess. Street Fighter. So this is the trailer for Street Fighter, which I can't wait to see. Danzig and a whole bunch of other really cool stuff, and I'll include a capture of what the back of this looks like for your reference. But no, I cannot wait to put this on and see what this is all about. This looks kick-ass. Thank you. We got a small handful of tapes from my buddy Steve, if you remember from the commentaries for Texas Chainsaw Massacre as well as Legend. And again, I'll be putting links to those in the bottom also. But he got these for my birthday. This is going to include The Long Kiss Goodnight, starring Sam Jackson and the great Gina Davis. This is a movie that, even though I've never seen it all the way through, I've seen a good 75 to 90% of the movie because my dad would just have it on in the background whenever it was like running on television. So I know the gist of the movie, but I don't know how the scenes all kind of like come together and everything. But I'm dying to finally watch this from beginning to end. And from what I remember, it's awesome. So I can't wait. Next up is going to be John Wayne in a Dino De Laurentiis production of The Shootist, starring also Lauren Bacall. And who else is that? Is that Ron Howard? Holy shit, Ron Howard and James Stewart, Richard Boone, John Carradine, Scatman Crothers. Wow, that's got a good cast in this. I can't wait to watch this. This is directed by Don Siegel. Yeah, I have a big collection of John Wayne stuff that I inherited from my grandparents as well as stuff from thrift stores and everything. But I don't have The Shootist, and I'm dying to find out what this is all about because this looks really good. I had like an old John Wayne, I think more grizzled and a little bit more refined. I can't wait, this is gonna be awesome. Next up from Steve is gonna be an absolute hit, The Dirty Dozen, which I'm ashamed to say I have not yet seen. And again, just to reiterate, this is directed by Robert Aldrich, starring Lee Marvin, Ernest Borgnine, Charles Bronson, Jim Brown, just recently passed away unfortunately, John Cassavetes, Richard Jekyll, George Kennedy, and Trina Lopez, and a hell of a lot of, Telly Savalas, and a whole bunch of other kick-ass actors from back in the day. So this is, what year is this again? 1967, 2 hours and 30 minutes, hi-fi stereo. I can't wait to watch this. This is gonna be kick-ass. And finally from Steve is gonna be the underrated, from what I've heard, Devil in a Blue Dress, starring the great Denzel Washington. I have heard so much about this movie, and I'm ashamed to say that I still have yet to watch this. This is, what year was this again? 95. This is a relatively recent Criterion Blu-ray release, and this was originally Twilight Time back when they were around, and I almost got it then, but I'm happy I didn't because I might have to pick up the Criterion if I like this a whole lot. I'm a big fan of LA Confidential, and I'm looking forward to watching this also because I feel like they kind of like, they speak to one another, maybe. I can't wait to watch this. Thank you, Steve. This is gonna be amazing. All right. Let's go into some thrift store stuff. Okay. The all-time classic, Reign of Fire. This movie is so kick-ass. I love it. If you haven't seen it, you gotta see it. This is definitely gonna be something that I'll probably watch for the channel maybe. But man, this movie is amazing. It's dragons and you see folks fight dragons with tanks, and it's amazing because like they unearth, what's the plot? They're building like a metro in London, and then they unearth some dragon eggs, and then like the world goes downhill because of dragons. And then Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey, they eventually kind of like team up, and McConaughey, like talk about reconnaissance. He was insane during this movie, and he looked awesome. So you guys gotta watch it. This movie's awesome. I love it. Okay, I tried getting some really like the iconic stuff as well as some stuff that I've never heard of. So one of them is going to be something that I'm ashamed to say that I've not seen, but I have seen the original version of it. So it's going to be the John Sturges classic, Magnificent Seven. I've seen The Seven Samurai from Akira Kurosawa, but I've yet to watch this. It's starring Yul Brynner, Eli Wallach, and Steve McQueen. I have seen Westworld though, and I understand that Yul Brynner was basically like brought into that because of this. But I can't wait to watch this. This is 1960, 2 hours, 9 minutes. This might actually, I don't know. This might be a really good double with Dirty Dozen if you have 5 hours. But But this will be something I really hope this actually plays, because this is going to be awesome. It's a good weight. It's a good weight to this tape. Up next is going to be, we're going to go into some tapes that I've never heard of. From the year 2000, a movie starring Javier Bardem called Before Night Falls. And I don't know anything about this. I think this is, I guess, his first big breakout and like the first time he was nominated, which is kind of fun. This is going to be fun to watch. I don't know. I can't say it's going to be fun, but it's definitely going to be something that's going to be probably more weighty than you would expect. But I'm looking forward to watching this. Up next is going to be, oh man. So I think this is post Terminator, starring Robert Patrick, a movie called Zero Tolerance. It's payback time, and 1 man, 100 gunmen, 1,000 bullets. This movie looks absolutely kick-ass. From 1994, 90 minutes. And just look at Robert Patrick just recreating the Terminator shot from Terminator 2, basically. This looks kick-ass. And lastly, from the thrift store is going to be a Tom Selleck, Sam Elliott, Ben Johnson, and Catherine Ross in a movie called The Shadow Riders, which I think alongside Zero Tolerance, both these movies have a really small. Not many people have vlogged these movies in Letterboxd, so I'm very interested in actually sitting down to watch these and try to find out why they're hard to find, you know? But no, Shadow Riders looks cool. I'm always down for young Sam Elliott, and ever since Quigley Down Under movie, I'm always down for Tom Selleck. So I can't wait to watch this. It's gonna be awesome. The last amount of tapes that I got in the wild are gonna be from my local Goodwill, and it's just a bunch of stuff that I don't have, so it's gonna be fun to. And I haven't looked in these bags in probably about a month or so it's gonna be fun to see what I picked up last time. I already have this on DVD, but I want to pick it up on VHS. It's gonna be the Paul Newman classic, Cool Hand Luke, and I don't know if you guys haven't seen this, you got to see it. I first watched this with one of my Boy Scout buddies, Sean, back. I don't know. Almost 20 years ago, I guess. Oh, geez, Louise, that's bad. But no, this movie's amazing. You gotta eat some eggs while you watch this. It's amazing. And if you haven't seen that, The Last Movie Stars on HBO from director Ethan Hawke, that goes into Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward. So I really recommend watching that documentary, as well as, if you haven't seen it, Cool Hand Luke. So the next in this bag is going to be the sequel to what I got from my buddy Stephanie last time. It's going to be Dragonheart, A New Beginning, the sequel to that movie. At least I think it is. Or it's a prequel, but it stars the kid, one of the older brother from Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah, Chris Masterson. And the dragon is re-voiced by someone else now, instead of, I think, whatever it was, Sean Connery, I think. This will be fun. Because if the first Dragonheart didn't hold up too much, I can't imagine this one will either. So it's going to be fun to watch this. Next up is going to be a movie that I've had on my watch list for a while. It's going to be Bill Murray in Quick Change, also starring Gina Davis, Randy Quaid, and the great Jason Robards. I have a very small understanding of what this movie is, and I'm kind of surprised that none of the artwork on the box includes it. Because from what I remember watching online years ago is Bill Murray like robbing a bank in a clown costume. And I feel like that's iconic enough to include on the box art. For whatever reason, they don't. So I'm looking forward to actually watching this and finding out what it's actually about. Next up is going to be, whether you like him or not, you have to say that he has an interesting body of work. It's going to be David O. Russell's Three Kings, starring George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark, and Ice Cube. I'm looking forward to watching this, and I heard cool things about it, and I don't know, I'm looking forward to watching it. Next up is going to be fun, because if you remember Amy, where we watched Jason and the Argonauts, she loves the Resident Evil franchise. So this is definitely going to be something that we'll be watching with her in the future. And I've never seen any of the Resident Evil movies, and I've never played any of the games. I know the fan base for this series of movies is diehard, so I can't wait to watch it and bear witness, you know. Next is going to be a movie called Rush, starring Jason Patrick and Jennifer Jason Leigh. This was hyped up on the Pure Cinema podcast. I don't remember which episode, but they said it was good, and I'm looking forward to watching it. At least I think they said it was good. But no, I don't know, it looks cool, and the great Sam Elliott is also in this, so it can't be half bad. So We got the OG, the movie that started it all, MASH from Robert Altman. This movie won the Palme d'Or at Cannes, whatever year this came out. The tape is from '92, but I know this was much earlier, 1969, I think. I guess 1970 to 1969 or so. Elliot Gould, the best, the G, Donald Sutherland, and Tom Skerritt. I've seen part of the show, and I don't know. I know the show is like it's just kind of like a retelling of the movie, but the movie's fun. I do recommend it. I haven't seen it in many years, but I'm looking forward to rewatching it though. Next up is going to be the hit movie from Ridley Scott, G.I. Jane. Include the joke from Chris Rock and Will Smith and everything.
G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
For whatever reason, like right after that incident at the Oscars, I was like, oh man, I kept skipping over picking up G.I. Jane at the thrift stores. And when they stopped selling the stuff, I was like, oh man, now what am I gonna do? They didn't have G.I. Jane anymore. And thankfully, like about a year later, basically, I was actually able to find it. So I could finally know exactly what Chris Rock and Will Smith are talking about, you know? Next up is going to be, from what I've heard, is going to be an underrated 6 Days and 7 Nights. Now, if you look at the box of this, what would you say that the genre is? What I imagine, even though it's directed by Ivan Reitman, this looks like a drama with a little bit of action. Apparently this is like a comedy, and it doesn't look like it's a comedy whatsoever. So, and I don't think Harrison Ford's the best at delivering comedy lines. I mean, he has some really good stuff in like Star Wars and Indiana Jones, but like as an outright comedian, I don't think so. So this will be interesting to watch, and especially in light of the last Indiana Jones movie, which I'm dying to watch. I'm gonna say it, I'm dying to watch it. All right, well, this will be fun, I guess. And the last movie from this collection, besides the kids stuff, is going to be something that I've never heard of. Apparently, there was an original James Bond that was made for television, with Barry Nelson as James Bond, Peter Lorre as Lashif, and Linda Christensen as Valerie Mathis. This came out prior to Dr. No with Sean Connery. But this is the original Casino Royale, even before the Woody Allen one that's like not officially canon to the mythology. So this will be interesting to watch because A, I've never heard of it, and I don't think many other people have actually heard of it. But it's just like a television adaptation, the Ian Fleming's book. It's only 60 minutes, and I think this came out. It doesn't even tell you what year it came out. But I looked up online, I'm pretty sure it's like mid-60s, early 60s or so. But I can't wait to watch this. This will be a heck of a lot of fun to watch. And then I got two random other like non-movie, non-letterbox, loggable kind of stuff. So what is it? A limited time vacation offer inside for Walt Disney World. A world of magic for the whole family. It is a vacation planning video for Disney World. And it has a little thing you could open. It's got some stuff. Do something different on your next Disney vacation. But no, what year was this? They did not include a year for this, but I'm willing to bet it's going to be either early 2000s or mid to late 90s or so. You'll probably find this on the channel at some point because this is probably like 30 minutes long, and I'm sure it's going to be easy to watch and kind of like a big trip down in memory lane and stuff. And the last thing that's non-loggable for Letterboxd is going to be the As Seen on TV Wall Magic by Whack It instructional video. Supposedly telling you how to paint walls. And we're doing some I don't want to say renovations, but we're doing some wall painting in our house. So I can learn something from this. This would be great. This is from '97, and this also looks like it was probably played once, and it's probably all of 30 minutes long, 45 minutes at most. Cool. Lastly, from Goodwill, it's gonna be some kids movies, some clamshells. The all-time classic, Mighty Joe Young. This is purchased from a Blockbuster for $9.99 and $19.99. From director Ron Underwood, starring the great Bill Paxton and a very young, early Charlize Theron before she got awesome in like action movies. This is one of the first movies that I vividly remember crying because I was sad that Mighty Joe Young, spoiler alert, almost died at the end of this movie. He didn't, thankfully, thank God, but it was very emotional for me, and this movie is like a bullseye for like how I like crying, I guess. So this will be fun to watch, especially for the channel. Hopefully I don't like bawl my eyes out that much, but this will be fun to rewatch. So this is gonna be something interesting. Franklin in the Green Knight. So this is, remember Franklin the turtle and everything? So there's a movie adaptation of the Shakespearean tale of the Green Knight starring Franklin the turtle. I don't know if it's like directly inspired by the Shakespeare story, but I had to pick this up because of David Lowery's The Green Knight, and I feel like this would be maybe not necessarily a double feature, but something to riff on and just make fun of. Maybe I'll have to bring Kevin back from watching Anaconda. I think that'll be kind of fun. Can't wait to watch this. I'm sure it's gonna be a hoot. And second to lastly, is gonna be the hit movie Spy Kids from Robert Rodriguez, starring the great Antonio Banderas and Cheech Marin and Danny Trejo and a bunch of other, Tony Shalhoub's in this. Oh, and Robert Patrick in this? That's crazy. These movies are insane. I don't know how they got made, and I don't know how they exist within the Machete universe. You know what I'm talking about? Because Machete, Danny Trejo Machete, from when he's like chopping people up from the cool trailer from Grindhouse. I don't know how this movie like exists, but it's only because of Robert Rodriguez, I guess. I have not seen it, again, I want to say it again, 20 years, and I can't wait to rewatch it because this movie is, from what I remember, insane. Also another insane movie. Kate and I, we just watched this very recently, not on tape, unfortunately, but we watched it on, I don't know, like Hulu or something. It's gonna be Thumbelina from Don Bluth. This movie is the definition of a head trip. We're definitely gonna watch this as a commentary. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it. If you have seen it, you know exactly what I mean. And I can't wait to rewatch this. I will say this is, I don't know how they recorded this, but it's got good weight. They put their effort into capturing this on VHS. I can't wait to watch this. This movie's insane. You gotta watch it if you haven't watched it, basically. And lastly, I got one thing from Vinegar Syndrome. So apparently there is a company that specializes in releasing VHS tapes. They're called Analog. They don't have a digital presence. And every once in a while, they'll bring up some more stuff that's like limited to like a very short amount of tapes for Vinegar Syndrome to sell. And they had a sale recently. I was like, I gotta pick something up from this place, whatever it is. And this was the only one they had in stock, basically. So it's gonna be a double dose of sugar. Don't judge me too much. I was really just curious. It's gonna be Gil Palmer in The Erotic Adventures of Candy and Candy Goes to Hollywood. This is number 91 of 100 tapes, so I'm very thankful for having at least one of these. It's X-rated, so if you haven't picked up what I'm talking about. Can't wait to watch this, I guess. Sometime, maybe. I don't think this would be appropriate to do for a commentary, is what I'll say. Well, that's that. I'm very thankful for everyone who got me some birthday gifts for VHS tapes this year. I can't wait to watch them, and I'm very happy for finding a whole bunch of really kick-ass stuff in the wild. Rain of Fire is definitely my all-time MVP for finding stuff in the wild, and I can't wait to rewatch this basically and I don't want to judge any of the gifts because all of them are equal in my mind. But no, I can't wait to do some more commentaries. It's been a little busy this year, and as I mentioned in the last video, I'll let it slip right now. We're shooting a short film, and we're shooting on VHS, and availability-wise, it's only on weekends, and it's taking a lot of mental energy trying to get everything together, and basically all that I've been able to do is just these VHS hauls because I have a whole bunch in backlog, and this is my only way to actually get the stuff on my shelves. So I can't wait to share this short film with you guys in the future. And yeah, this is basically it. That's Tape Time with Tom. My name is Chris. Tune in next time for more tapes, commentaries, VHS hauls, whatever. Please let me know what VHS tape out of this haul is your favorite, and let me know what movies I should watch for the commentaries. Yeah, that's basically about it. Can't wait to see you guys next time. Always rewind, but more importantly, be kind. See you guys later.